Hey guys, so the fusion is starting today, and I want to make sure that I give you all of the information completed before you make your decision.
Shoot him, Kevin!
Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So we've gotten a lot of new information to come in over the weekend, and with the fusion starting today, I want to make sure that you use your resources accordingly. Now, real quick, I do want to call myself out a little bit without getting too much into the weeds of things. So the way that it kind of works for me is I'll make a video and I'll send it off to my editor. Admittedly, I kind of just, wipe my hands clean of thumbnails and titles of videos because my editor knows what they're doing. And if you go back and look at my stuff 2 months ago, you're gonna be like, what is this thumbnail? What is this title? This guy doesn't know what he's doing, right? That being said, sometimes there's a disconnect between us, and that's on me. That's 100% on me. No fault of the editor, right? He watches the video, he thinks I'm going in a specific direction, and maybe I wasn't fully committed to that direction, but my words led otherwise, right? So that's on me. I'm going to do a better job of communicating with my editor directly and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is my intention. Stop right there. Click the link in the description right now to get a free legendary Elenaril and 3 free amazing epics as you level up. Here are the exact steps that you need to follow. Step 1, log out of Plarium and Play on PC and uninstall. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Step 4, go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Here we go. You'll find Elenaril here, as well as Uugo at level 10, Tagoar at level 20, and Rector Drath at 30. Don't forget to use the promo code Supreme6 to get yourself the awesome Supreme Galek. This is an amazing account start in Raid. So click on my link right now and follow the steps. The reason I'm bringing all of this up is because admittedly the title of the video was a little clickbaity for my review of the fusion, and originally the thumbnail was, but in a panic I went back and told the editor, like, whoa, hold up. Let's rein that in just a little bit. But the title of the video, I couldn't come up with a better title, so sorry guys. But we have new information, and I want to make sure you guys are fully informed before we go into the fusion. Now, for future situations, instead of going in blind and giving you my blind reaction to the fusion, which is that what it was, I didn't watch any other content creators, didn't watch Ash, Nub, Hell Hades. There were other content creators too that I watched, just none coming to mind. I didn't watch any of their stuff beforehand, so that was my pure reaction. The new information we have is that Nub ran it on the test server. I'll put a link to Nub's video in the description for you guys if you want to check it out, but he did run it on the test server. I'll tell you what I was hoping for. I kept saying in the video, if the multipliers are good, that applies to any damage dealer in the game, okay? But when we're talking about this guy, I was hoping to get at least a Thor level of damage out of Beastbane, Lysanthir Beastbane, okay? And I don't feel like, from watching him on the test server, I don't feel like we got to those totals. I felt like it was a little underwhelming on the damage that came out. With that information, now that we know how much they hit less for Thor. And why am I making such a direct comparison to Thor? Well, Thor brings decreased speed and a ton of damage. Lysanthir brings decreased speed, weaken, and decent damage, I will say. This may be an improvement for your account. If you don't have a good decreased defense and weaken like Estrid, for example, Lysanthir is going to be able to fill that gap for you. And so I just want to make sure that I'm clear with you guys and that everyone understands where this could be good for you and where this could be used. Now, there were some really impressive moments in the video. Notably, which is what I thought, and I said it in my original video, that the fact that this, because of the 20% chance to repeat the attack and that it can get stacked up over time, when they did proc on this and you saw boom, 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 it was like 300,000. In some cases, a million, depending on the type of head, the affinity. A lot of factors go into it. Hydra is difficult. All of that being said, I think this can be an upgrade for players looking for a good decreased speed champ in Hydra. I would not recommend them if you're looking for Hex. This is not a Hex champion. They have Hex on the A1. It's absolutely worthless. I think I said that in the first video even, and if I didn't make that clear, I should have, because I don't think that Hex is valuable at all. But the decreased speed and the weaken is very important, especially in the new version of Hydra. You really want to slow down the heads and speed up your team as much as possible to get as much damage in during the 1,000 turns. Now, if you're running a difficulty and you're having a struggle getting to 1,000 turns, he will help, but he may not be the end-all be-all. You may need more speed. You know, like, I don't want to make it sound like this guy is the greatest thing to ever happen to Hydra. He's not that, but he will be helpful for most accounts, notably my free-to-play account. I actually think that my free-to-play will benefit more from this guy than my main account will. I talked about how I thought he would be valuable in my main team, but I was using him to replace Thor. He doesn't do Thor level damage, therefore that's not a fair trade for me, right? Because weaken in the team that I was talking about, just to give you guys some specifics here, my nightmare team here, right? I was talking about putting him right here in place of Thor. The problem is that bringing the weaken increases the damage of everybody else. It does not increase the damage of my Acrisia, because Acrisia is enemy max HP damage. It has a cap, and so she's already hitting that cap because she is... This is going to look kind of silly if you understand how enemy max HP, but she is in a Merciless set. This is only really on her for Chimera, because Chimera has such high defense that it's actually really hard to hit cap, and so that's why I put her in Merciless, and I get extra turns and all that stuff. But this does me no value in Hydra, because she would hit cap anyways most of the time, so don't read too much into that. But yeah, hitting cap is almost a guarantee, especially with all the ignore defense that she has and all the crit damage. This is not really meant to be a sell on Acrisia or a highlight of Acrisia, but that's kind of the problem with the Lysanthir for me, is that it's not the best replacement for Thor. In fact, I think the best replacement would be Varl. And what I will say too is, if you have Varl, I would recommend Varl over Lysanthir. If you got Varl, or you are close to getting Varl from Doom Tower, which is how you get Varl, by the way, I would recommend focusing on building out a Varl. Try to get some blessings for him, books, you know, book him out, all that fun stuff, because he is probably going to do more damage for you than the new champion. So I just wanted to make sure that I was clear with you guys. The title of this video, because I'm going to, you know, like I said, I'm going to try to mold that, is going to be like, was I wrong on the fusion? And I don't think that I was. I think I was correct if the multipliers were good. Unfortunately, I think he's a little undertuned. And with the way that they do buffs and debuffs in the game, I don't think that they're going to be looking to buff or debuff this guy anytime soon. I'm kind of thinking about making a video in the near future about weirding me out, my peripheral. I'm kind of thinking about making a video here soon talking about the state of fusions a little bit in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try and do see if I can get a collaboration on that, because I think that I really think that fusions have gone in a specific direction, and I'll elaborate on this in that video, but I think fusions have gone in a bit of a specific direction that those of us that have been playing the game for a really long time need to understand, right? I don't think Lysanthir is bad. I don't think that at all, but he's only really going to be good, I would say, for early game, mid game accounts. If I was still doing the free-to-play challenge, I'd probably go for this guy if I had the resources, or if I was starting a new account and I had been saving up for a fusion, and this was, you know, if I had started a new account maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and I've been saving for a fusion and waiting for that big, awesome fusion to come along that I'm gonna like super love and think is really good, I would probably go for this guy, to be honest. If we take him outside of the context of Hydra, in Nub's video, by the way, they did use him in Arena. It had mixed results there, actually. So I was a little impressed there, to be honest. A little more than I had expected, but not the best. What I will say, though, is that what this guy brings, even if you're only looking at it from like regular Demon Lord clan boss point of view, decreased speed doesn't work there, but he does bring weaken and some big hits. And if you can work in a counter, an ally attack with him, this won't stack up, but it still hits pretty hard and has that chance of repeating the attack, which is very, very valuable. I think that goes missed a little bit. So I do think that there is some value there, even, you know, for like a new account. You know, if we look back again to the free-to-play challenge, would I pick this guy up and build him up? Yeah, I probably would. Even if I'm just, you know, as my boss damage dealer kind of everywhere. The damage doesn't stack up as much, but in other bosses that can be slowed, this can be pretty valuable, right? You're bringing decreased speed and you're bringing weaken. And yeah, the Hex on the A1, though, if this was an AoE hitter, it would probably be more valuable, but the fact that it's a single target just really kind of ruins it a bit. I think it's overall going to be a pretty good champion, and I still stand by this, and I've saw other people reiterate this. The defense in all battles, there is zero reason to nerf that to 28%. This guy is not good enough to sit there and say that his aura is worse than almost any other legendary. So when you look at legendaries, you'll see like 30% defense in all battles here, 30% defense in all battles, 30% defense in all battles, right? Just 3 legendaries, one of them being a free legendary that many of us got back in the day of Ultimate Death Knight. Mishinaki, same thing, 30% defense in all battles. Tormund is a little bit higher because he's a void at 33%. I was surprised to find out that Wixwell was actually 28%. I would have told you this was 30%. Kind of a shocker there, to be completely honest with you. I would have expected that to be more in that 30% range. And same thing here with Kyoku, right? So it's pretty reasonably expected that 30% for legendaries has been kind of the norm, with really Wixwell being the only deviation, and now Lysanthir. So I'm not a fan of that. I think that's not necessary. I don't think the strength of this champion is enough to outweigh 2% of defense. And honestly, what does that matter? Like, where are we? Who's winning and losing a fight on 2% defense? I don't know. That I just don't understand the reasoning for it. I'll show you again. Let me move myself around. There you go, 28%. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call that a video, and I will try to do better. Again, they're going to be growing pains. I've recently partnered with GameLeap, and there will be issues and growing pains as I progress and as I evolve as a content creator, right? You know, if you go back a month, 2 months ago, you're going to see what the thumbnails and titles of my videos look like. They're so much better, and they're performing so much better now, and getting more people into the channel, and that's great for me. That's great for my content, right? And so just all in all, I'm very happy with everything that's going on in the channel, but I have to be real with you guys and say, hey, I screwed up. And I'm always going to be there to tell you guys that, right? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't believe in misleading. My ego isn't, by the way, I'm not calling anybody else out, but I'm not so fragile that I can't admit when I'm wrong. As long as you guys are constructive with your criticism. And I want to give everybody a shout out who commented on that video, that a lot of you have this community, the community that's been following my channel, you all have been super constructive and kind with your criticism, and I love that. I really do. I know that not every YouTuber and Twitch content creator and whatever, you know, video game content creator out there, they don't all have communities like that, and I'm glad that whatever about me has brought in people that are kind and polite and respectful and say, hey, I don't think you got this right, here's why. I absolutely respect it. So I'm going to try to do better for you guys, and I appreciate you guys, you know, doing awesome for me and all the support. One last little tidbit, since, you know, video's a little short, I finally get to squeeze in some news. Expect the streams to start again in, I would say, probably a week or two. Puppy is pretty much potty trained. She had an accident today, the first one in, like, I'd say about a week and a half. So we're not 100% there yet. Like, I don't trust her enough to be roaming around the house, and I don't really want to have to keep her in her crate for, a 4-hour stream or anything like that. So with the summer coming up, I will have more free time because I'm going to be home with the kids. There should be more potential for streaming content then too, but it should be back, I'd say 1 or 2 weeks, probably after spring break. Maybe during spring break, you should see streaming ramp up. So if you missed that, it will be coming back. I'll probably do less days a week so I get a little bit more me time to enjoy gaming and my family, because I've been really enjoying my time. Instead of being on the computer, I'm spending it upstairs with the puppy, and therefore I'm around my family, and we've been watching TV and embracing new shows and stuff. So it's been a really good time. Anyways, I just want to say thank you guys so much. If you are new here, if this is the first video of mine you've seen, that's a little weird because I'm commenting on my own video a couple of days ago, but welcome to the channel. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support my channel, and I super appreciate it. All in all, guys, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.